OpenAI just released a freaking banger. They released ChatGPT Images 2.0, and in this video, I'm gonna be taking you through what all are the updates, as well as me testing it out to see how true it really is. Starting off, they have this dope behind website that's basically like a scrollable photo book, as you see here, where you scroll and have an interactive demo of the ChatGPT images as it explains to you the features of it in freaking images. It is all generated by ChatGPT 2.0 images, which I thought was a flex, and I think that's pretty cool. But basically, they said that one of the main things that is good about ChatGPT Image 2.0 is that it has greater precision and control, which is great. Basically, it means that when you describe something, it's better at understanding what you're saying and actually following out what you want it to do, which is what you want out of an AI. And we see here, they have this image of a freaking screenshot of somebody's laptop. This is not a real screenshot. This is a image generated by ChatGPT. The prompt is a screenshot of a ChatGPT in a browser of Mac OS X. The user types, draw me a dog. ChatGPT draws a CII dog. I think it's called ASCII dog in front window of ChatGPT. The desktop is quite messy with lots of random windows open. They're all in the background. So that's the prompt that got you this. If I didn't tell you that this was ChatGPT, you would probably think this is literally a screenshot from somebody's computer, which it's such a simple example, but it's so powerful at the same time. If you thought about ChatGPT when it was being tested by LM Arena and different arena leaderboards to see which one's the best image generator, this was one of the pictures that was kind of floating around, at least a version of it. Not only that, they also have this magazine collage, and we see that this prompt is quite lengthy, but it has a really great output and very aesthetically pleasing, if you ask me. And you will see how close the demos are to the real thing when we look at me trying to generate a lot of these. And they also have a freaking mound of rice. You're like, Dex, what's so crazy about this rice thing? Bro, this rice has the words ChatGPT Image 2 on one of the freaking grains of rice. It says a mound of rice with thousands of grains zoomed out. One of the grains has ChatGPT Image 2 etched onto it, just big enough to fit on a single grain. The rice grain is exactly the same size as the others, not any bigger or smaller, and blends into the rice mound well, so it cannot be spotted at a glance. And bro, look at this. Even the live demo did this, and this is what they did when they zoomed in, right? ChatGPT into the image, just on the rice in the image. They also have like this kind of magazine look.
Show everyone how far we can go with our image generation model. So this is an image I generated with our experimental 4K API. This is just a pile of rice, but this is also not just one pile of rice. What if I tell you there's one single grain in it with the text GPT image on it? Can you find it?
Here we go.
Yeah, it's at the center.
Well, I can't see. I see some text.
I made it easy for you guys.
That's awesome.
Look at this.
Wow.
Let's zoom in. GPT Image 2 on one single grain of rice among the entire pile this big. This is how far we can go with our latest model.
Amazing.
To it, which is pretty good. This looks like a page out of a textbook. And they also have this handwritten essay, which, bro, this looks like somebody was like cheating on a paper and trying to get like a cheat sheet, and some dude just sent him a text message and sent it to him. It even has a freaking coffee stain up to the right corner, which makes it really great. Chef's kiss, really good touches. And they also say it's stronger across languages, which means, of course, better typography. Where you see they have this freaking shonen manga. They also have this Indian bookstore, this Chinese comic, this Korean advertisement, and this topography poster. And they all look pretty good. The prompts in these weren't super long. They were a mix, of course, but just to see that was created by ChatGPT Image 2 isn't bad at all. They also have like really good stylism and photorealism, where we actually see here with some of these candid shots from the people. These don't look like some AI. This looks like somebody was really just shooting the camera outside One of the really cool ones was this lecture hall where you see it's a lecture hall where this person is teaching. This looks like a still frame where somebody's in the back of the classroom who may have taken a picture of the lecture. But what's crazy is that if you take a closer look, the presentation is another presentation of the dude doing the same presentation. It's really like some type of kaleidoscope recursion image within an image all the way down to the end. It's crazy how you do that mirror effect. If you ever look into a mirror and had another mirror behind you that have like those infinitely looping images, same thing, which is like crazy. And then they have these freaking iPhone aliens where they're like freaking chilling in these fashion book where you see these two women who are posing, but they're also in a book. Somebody's holding a magazine and just took a photo of it. And they have something like super realistic, like a 2000s computer lab. Bro, this is absolutely crazy. As well as they have this street photographers. They also have like good styles where we already saw like manga. They also have this like movie poster and this mid-century pastel comic book and this modern ideal comic in character sheet in a studio artifact. And these are pretty amazing. I think it looks so like it's not overdone. These are all a wide range of different capabilities where you see like, it looks like they have a whole bunch of just really high resolution cameras, and some just look like somebody who was like a student or a kid just taking a picture. All different angles and all different aspect ratios and qualities. But not only that, they now have flexible aspect ratios, which I hope they have 16:9. And if they do, you know what this thumbnail is going to be. It's going to be generated by ChatGPT Image 2. But we see this aspect ratio, we see basketball dunking time lapse, where you see this is almost like that Darwin type of evolutionary thing, but instead it's like steps for basketball, which is also a cool kind of infographic. Not too much text there, so it understood it, and the aspect ratio is pretty lengthy. It's a 3.1 ultra wide aspect ratio. Same thing for this phone panorama, where this is crazy because in the demo, these guys literally did a 360 video of the moon landing, and it was actually a freaking 360 video or a 360 photo. Check it out. But then just stop there. They also have the bookmark, this traditional painting, and this Japanese kari catcher. But you can definitely tell that each one of these have their different aspect ratios. I think my favorite one was this long one where you see this is like a very long vertically image that starts at the beginning, and then you see that as you keep scrolling down it says not yet, and it goes all the way down to this house. But you have to scroll for a bit just to show you how much they have changed for the aspect ratio. But another thing that's like very powerful is the real world intelligence, where ChatGPT is an image generator, which is AI, yes, but it also has the capability to understand things. It's kind of using the ChatGPT part a little bit more when making the images, so it's more accurate and more thoughtful with the image you do make. Where I think the cutoff for the knowledge is December 2025, so it's like more current with a lot of the stuff. Like by itself, without having to search the internet, the model itself is pretty current. If December 2025, we're only like what months into the year, it's not that far behind. Like for one of them, it has this infographic which shows different proofs. It looks literally like a spreadsheet that you would get from like a or inside of one of those textbooks. They even have like this trend where like not only is this pretty pleasing, this is factually correct, which is the intelligence part of the image generator. And then they also have this color analysis where they use this portrait. They create a diagram for personal color analysis to show which clothing color suits the person best. And you see they created like this with like deep depth, contrast, and everything, and they show like what best. So they said the deep olive, the camel, the teal. They said light blue, no. The bright pink, no. The navy, yes. It says best, and then what to avoid, which I think was actually not a bad use case. So I think it's always easier to understand stuff with different type of visuals, and being able to generate those definitely helps out. They also have like some of these posters, like kind of lighter reads, of course more comic books, and like pretty much other cool stuff. And then they also have like stuff like Canva, Adobe, and OpenArt to kind of show you their use cases when it came to these things. But going back to actually ChatGPT, because I do pay for ChatGPT, I literally think their image generator is pretty good. And I think that's one of the selling points for me why I get it, especially over like because Claude is good, but it's not beating out Gemini or ChatGPT when it comes to image. And every day I'm not trying to code anything, so there's that. But the first thing I tried to recreate was that screenshot, but instead of it being an animal, I changed it to a dog. But still, this looks like a really good image that looks like a screenshot to me. Another one that I tried was, again, the same one. It actually generated the second one by itself. I don't know why I did that, but I'm not mad at it either. It even kind of had this bottom, which I thought was a nice touch. And then also I had to try out the cook. And these are all basically copying and pasting the prompt from the guide that we just saw, and pasting it here to see how it would generate for me if I was trying to use it for real. And I may just change a few different things, like making it human or whatever, just to see how it would react to me. So like in the comic book, I made it a action comic book. Instead, in the example, it was a adventure manga. But just to see how differently it would be, but it still looks pretty good, and like the aspect ratio is still the same. And I generated these two photos of these people that are like trying to demonstrate how cool and powerful it is when it generates realistic looking photos. Compared to like what they did, it's still pretty spot on. Very like candid. I mean, kind of a little bit trying to be like, oh, it's an art photo, but let's be real, he knows what it is. And then this one where I was actually trying to do a John Wick one. They did a movie poster, and I kind of wanted to do a John Wick-esque poster. I thought it was going to be surrounded by different people holding out their weapons, but it didn't do that. But one of the things I did like was the really long vertical one, where we saw earlier had the winding line that went down. Instead, I try to push it a little bit to make it like the human anatomy, to see like, hey, the human anatomy with a windy string going down into it, like the bottom is the end. I didn't really have anything in mind to visualize what it would look like, but to see that it came up with this, and it's pretty visually appealing, don't think it was too bad. Then I actually asked it to make a thumbnail for this YouTube channel, just to see how it would do, and to see also what the aspect ratio would look like as well. This one, I'm not sure what y'all think about this one. I don't think it's bad, but I do think it's a little bit cluttered. But I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna go with this one. Here's another thumbnail that I thought about doing, and tell me what y'all think about these thumbnails and which one I should have gone with. If you clicked on this video and you made it this far, you already know which thumbnail I use. And by the way, while you're here, you should definitely like and subscribe, because I will be doing more demos and doing more AI updates as technology advances. But I really like this one with Sam Altman. It looks really cool with the Image 2.0 and how it's highlighted and underlined. I think it looks very clean, and I asked it to make it a little bit simpler. The first one, that's like way more chaotic. It's very like visually, but I think it's a little bit too cluttered, too much stuff going on for you to actually know what's going on in the thumbnail to know what the video is about. I didn't think this one was too bad either. The one where he's like kind of ChatGPT Image 2.0, but he's pointing to like almost like a comic book or like a map of images. I didn't think that one was too bad either. But what really surprised me was I was asking it about some ideas, about maybe like some effects with the eyes. And the one that I liked the best was the one in the middle, because you can literally like his left eye or his right eye, but one that we see on his left side of his face facing him is looking at his other eye, and it has like images streamed into it, and it has that kaleidoscope effect. I thought that was pretty good. But I also liked the Image 2.0 with the ChatGPT logo on the top left in it, and so I was like, hey, can you combine those two? And it did, and I don't think it looks too bad. And then even the last one was basically like, hey, this is the last one altogether, so see what it looks like. I don't think it looks too bad, but I don't know, that one with the eye, I don't know, that looks really appealing. I don't know, I may have to rerun it again. But either way, this is what it created. Tell me down below what you think about the image generator of ChatGPT, because I will probably be doing a head-to-head with ChatGPT versus Nana Banana Pro, just to see how they actually go head-to-head and which one is visually more appealing. With that being said, you should definitely like and subscribe for more AI content. With that being said, your boy Dex Not Dexter out.